She walked into that courtroom like she didn't belong, wrapped in layers of old coats, hair tucked under a grimy cap, a tattered blanket in her arms like it was the only thing left that hadn't given up on her. And they laughed. I mean, really laughed. Officers in the back, smug as hell, whispering jokes loud enough to echo. Like she wasn't even human. She probably thinks the judge hands out soup, one of them said, and the room snickered. Yeah, that happened. But what they didn't know, what they never saw coming, was that the woman they were mocking wasn't some nameless, broken ghost off the streets. Her name was Gabrielle Ray. And 5 years ago, she took an oath as a federal agent. Undercover, embedded, armed with nothing but a hidden mic sewn into her collar, and a fury that had been simmering since the night her brother bled out on a Baltimore sidewalk, cuffed and silent. Let me back up a sec. Gabrielle's brother, Quincy, was just trying to get home. Still, had on his hardware store polo when two cops stopped him, said he matched a description. 10 minutes later, he was in the ER, dislocated shoulder, cracked ribs, blood in his eye socket. No footage, no charges for the officers. Just another routine incident, they said. Gabrielle sat in that hospital hallway, watching the nurse stitch her brother's lip shut. And something snapped. Not loud, just cold, focused. She went to law school, joined the bureau, worked in internal affairs. Saw firsthand how cases got buried, how misconduct turned into typos. But there was one precinct, Midtown West, where the rot ran deeper than reports could touch. Files vanished, victims silenced, officers promoted on the backs of broken lives. So, Gabrielle did what no one else dared. She disappeared, gave up her name, her badge, her comfort, slept under bridges, ate from church basements, became invisible. And for months, she mapped every patrol route, every taunt. Every night, someone like her got pushed off a park bench. And when they finally arrested her, oh, she made sure they thought it was their idea. Now we're back in that courtroom, third appearance. Case 27B, Jane Doe, the judge said, tapping her pen like this was just another Tuesday. Officer Monroe smirked in the corner. Officer Hayes loosened his baton. And Gabrielle. She stood, slowly, shackles clinking, coat wrapped tight. She looked worse than ever by design. Then a new voice cut through the noise. A man in a gray suit stepped forward, cool and steady. "Your Honor," he said, placing a folder on the bench. "This isn't a loitering case, and this woman isn't who you think she is." Gabrielle unclasped her coat, pulled out a worn leather wallet, and flipped it open. The room froze. The screen blinked on. Footage rolled raw. Real Marco Washington, another homeless woman, slammed face first into a squad car. Her blood painting the glass. Gasps rippled. Monroe tried to leave blocked. Hayes ran, caught in the parking lot. Gabrielle folded her coat like it was sacred. Not because of what it was, but because of what it had heard. The courtroom was silent, except for Marca's quiet sobs in the gallery. 1 week later, someone spray-painted "rat" across Gabrielle's apartment wall. "You embarrassed the system," they said. She didn't flinch. Because comfort never built trust, truth did. Officer Lena Vargas, the rookie who had started asking questions, left her badge in a locker with a note, "Silence protects no one." In the months that followed, Gabrielle led a new initiative, community-led, not bureaucrat-approved, but only on one condition: that real people, not just suits, had a seat at the table. And the East End Legal Center was born. Old courthouse, new purpose. One morning, as the city stirred awake, a boy 10, maybe, walked up to her. Nervous. Said he wanted to be like her. Gabrielle crouched, met his eyes. "Then don't let anyone tell you being kind makes you weak," she said. or that telling the truth is dangerous. He nodded and ran toward his school. And Gabrielle. She stood there in the breeze, eyes sharp, coat gone, listening, always listening, because justice doesn't come from noise, it comes from refusing to look away. So now I ask you, what would you do if everyone else laughed, and you were the only one who saw the truth? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share this if it hit something real. And don't forget to subscribe for stories that make power tremble and truth stand tall.